Hi, and welcome to Kids Create. My name is Kathy, and this month our theme for Kids Create is short poems. Now, the most familiar short poems for children are nursery rhymes, so I thought I'd start by reading some of Mother Goose. Now, a lot of these nursery rhymes, you might not have heard them for years, but you'll remember them. They stick in your head, and that's the lovely thing about this short verse and the rhymes and the rhythms, is that it stays with you, and you'll probably remember a lot of these. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? Silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty together again. And here's another book where I found some nursery rhymes, and it has one of my favorites. Hey diddle diddle. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Now, there's some nursery rhymes that have been turned into songs, and I'm going to read and sing a couple of them. And this one is Ba Ba Black Sheep. Ba Ba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. And the song goes, Ba Ba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Ba Ba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. Now there's another that can be sung as a song. And the funny thing is, it uses the same tune as Ba Ba Black Sheep. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Another form of short poem is the Japanese haiku. Beaches by Katalin Gunther. Sand scatters the beach. Waves crash on sandy shore. Blue water shimmers. Now, one form of Japanese haiku that's fun for kids are riddle haikus, and I'll read you a couple of those. Green and speckled legs hop on logs and lily pads, splash in cool water. In a pouch I grow on a southern continent, strange creatures I know. And an author you might have heard of, Shel Silverstein, does a lot of short poems too. Invisible Boy. And here we have the invisible boy in his lovely invisible house, feeding a piece of invisible cheese to a little invisible mouse. Oh, what a beautiful picture to see. Will you draw an invisible picture for me? The wonderful thing about short poems is you realize that you really don't always need a lot of words to describe something or to give a picture of something. So here's a book by Julie Morstad called How To. Tells a big story in a lot of words. how to go fast, how to go slow, how to see the wind, how to be a mermaid, how to have a good sleep, how to make some music, how to make a sandwich, how to make new friends, how to wash your face, how to wash your socks, how to watch where you're going, how to stay close, how to disappear, how to be far away, how to wonder, how to be brave, how to be happy. The end. And I want to finish off with one short poem about poems. It's in a book by Julie Andrews of a collection of poems. And the poem is by Charles Ghigna. What is a poem? A whisper, a shout, thoughts turned inside out, a laugh, a sigh, an echo passing by, a rhythm, a rhyme, a moment caught in time, a moon, a star, a glimpse of who you are. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.